Hey, everybody. My name is Aloja Hatley. I am an author, publisher, CEO, and founder of Inspired Publishing LLC, and an autism advocate. So, this is my first recording. So, y'all just bear with me. But I just want to kind of talk about my books. The first books I want to talk about is we're just going to just dive right in is my history books. And the reason I'm talking about my history books first is because of all of the things that are going on in the world right now with the banning of books. They're taking apart the the museum in DC, the African American History Museum in DC. But these are things that we can learn ourselves. There's a lot of books that are out and that's been out by other authors throughout history. They're on Amazon. They're everywhere. Like there's no reason for you not to learn your history. So if they ban Black history, so learn it for yourself. You learn it for yourself and you teach it to your kids. So my first book is called. I'll put the links down there too in the comments. My very first book um, is called Who Are We? Contributions of the African Diaspora from Past to Present. Now, let me tell you the little background. So, I did some research. It took me about 8 years. 8 years because I had the question, who were we before slavery? Because in school, the only thing that they teach you is Martin had a dream, Rosa sat down, and you ain't nothing but a slave. That is the only thing you learn. And I found out that this generation don't even know that. They have no idea what Martin Luther King did if you ask them. They heard his name, but they don't even know. And why that's so important. You can't allow people to erase um, your greatness. They're going to try. You can't. You have to teach that to your kids. You can't allow people to take away all the contributions that um, our ancestors and people right now in the present are making history right now. Me talking to you right now is making history. Okay. So I felt like I needed to know, where did we go wrong? I needed to know who we were before slavery. What did we accomplish before slavery? Because I knew that we were ancient people. When I say we, people of the African diaspora, if you're an ancient person, there's no way that you only start doing things in the 1600s. So one day, my daughter came to me. She was in fourth grade, and they was doing a culture fair. I had never done one before, and I was kind of embarrassed back in the day when we would have culture fairs in school, and Black kids had nothing to do. So I did the culture fair at my daughter's school, and what I did was, um, when I asked the teacher what did they have open, the only thing they had left was America. Believe it or not, everybody had their own culture, or um, the only opening they had left was America. So it's okay. So what I did was I told her we'll take it, and I said America um, with Black inventions. I had two tables. So I had the table with America, red, white, and blue flag, with some information about the presidents, the past presidents. That was one table. And the other table was America, the African American experience. So on that table, it was red, black, and green flag, the colors. And I went and put together a slideshow with all the inventors that I had found. So after that was over, I was told by several teachers and several children that my table was the best because we were making bracelets, we were making holiday cards, thank you cards. Um, I brought sweet potato pie and apple pie. So we were popular. We were popular, of course, among the kids. I brought all the sugar. But I took that information and I kept researching. I didn't stop. The more I researched, the more I found stuff. And a lot of stuff I was very shocked. So I said, if I don't know this information, I'm quite sure nobody else knows it at all. Some people may know a little, a little here and a little there. But I said, I think it'd be great that if we can start teaching um, our contributions and the greatness to our children. So that's how that book came about. So that's how this one came about. Okay. So I found so much information. I even started running into warriors, warrior queens. I ran into black towns. I found information that we were like never taught about um, the the part that women played in the military. A movie just came out about the 68, 88. Like we didn't know this stuff. So I said, I'm going to keep researching. So I kept digging and I started finding warrior queens. It took me over to Africa. It took me to, um, oh my God, some of the stuff that I was finding, I was in disbelief. It was a roller coaster moment for me. I cried sometimes. I was angry sometimes of why nobody taught me this. I just couldn't, I couldn't believe it. In many ways, I knew that the information I was finding is there for you to find, but you had to dig for some of it. And I said, so let me make it easy for people. Anybody who want to learn the truth about history and greatness and contributions and other things that we did prior to slavery. Okay, prior to slavery. So I separated the books, and it ran me into another book um, that I dedicated to Black women because I had found so many warrior queens and so many women who did their contribution to the world. Okay. So I figured I'm just going to do one book with just women. And that was this one. Who is she? So I could have did both. I could have put this one together with this one, but that would have been too much. I thought it was just, it would have been a big book. So as I kept researching and I kept finding things, and couple of years went past, I said, okay, so I'm gonna have to update this book. So now I'm learning about the Eve gene. Okay. Now I'm learning that there was a time in history there was no one else outside of Africa. Okay. So now I'm learning other things. So now my mind is expanding. Now my knowledge is expanding. So I figured I need to put it in a book. And that's what I did. And this is the last history book that I published the last 3 months. Okay. So in these books, you won't just find greatness, you won't just find contributions. It's important to know where you came from. It's important to know that you were more than a slave. These things are important to know because it make it the feeling that you get knowing your greatness, the self-esteem. You walk with your head up a little higher. You know, just knowing that the blood that runs through your veins is greatness. The blood that runs through your veins is greatness. And it's not to put down anybody else. It's nothing like loving yourself and self-preservation. That's what this is. Everybody else does it. Everybody else have self-preservation and loving themselves. So I figured, why not put it in a book? So all three of these books, you can contact me and I can send them to you. You can Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, all three of these books. But I'm going to tell you, this one has a lot in it. It has a lot. Okay. So in my next video, I'm going to start going through the book, teaching what I know. I might teach some of the things that's in the book. I may teach things that I just learned. But that's what I'm gonna focus on the next book. And I think the one I'm gonna start with is Who is She? Because this one is with all the warrior queens in it. I want to teach this one first because we didn't know anything about a warrior queen. Queen Nzinga, Queen Yaya Santua. You understand? We talking about real life warriors, women that went to war with their own armies. Okay, they was in control. There were generals. You know, we never learned about that. So my next video is going to be talking about this book. So you have to stay tuned on my channel. If you know someone who is homeschooling or someone who just wants to learn some history outside of what we've learned, growing up, which wasn't very much, you know, tell them to like my videos, tell them to stop by and just click a like just to see. I want to see how many people really care. Okay, because I tell you, I sell these books at expos, and and I also sell my autism books and other books. These books are the hardest to sell, and I didn't know why. And I figured that people think they already know. You think you already know, but that is not the case. I'm telling you, there is stuff in these books that you were never taught, never taught. Um, yeah. So you guys gonna have to stay tuned because our greatness is about to shine. So what they're banning Black history. So what they're banning books in schools, in other places. But there is no reason for you not to find knowledge for yourself. There is no reason. No reason. As long as there is a library, as long as there is um, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, as long as there's the bookshops on the corner, because we still have bookstores, okay? As long as they can order books for you, okay? There is no reason for us to be acting like we can't find this knowledge on our own, because we can't. I did. And this is proof. These books are proof that I found information about Black folks throughout the African diaspora that did great things, from warrior queens to running armies, to the Haitian Revolution, to all the revolutions, to our Black towns, to Black cowboys. I found enough information that would make you happy. You'll be happy. Okay. So, like I said, send my video to homeschoolers, send it to people who want a little bit more knowledge other than what you have learned in the past. Send this video to people who want to contact me. I'm also a publisher. If you have some ideas that you want to publish, you can go to www.elogiahatley.com. That's my first and last name, ELOGEIAHADLEY.com. Or you can just send me a message and say, hey, I have an idea. I want to share my message with the world, and I need a publisher or I need some advice. I'll even do that. So, but as far as this history is concerned, with all of this going on in the world, like I said, there's no reason for you not to know your greatness. Okay. And there's another reason why I wanted to answer some questions. So I, just like most of us, are on social media. And I've been seeing like an uptick of people saying things like, why didn't Black people build their own towns? Why did Black people um, not have this and not have that? You've been here over 500 years. Why have you not accomplished this? Why you haven't accomplished that? The fact of the matter, we did. And you'll find them in my books. So the next time somebody has that question for you, or what African American people didn't do, haven't accomplished, my books will give you the answer. Okay, there can be a real debate, not an argument, but a real debate. Okay, so I just recently saw that, and that question drives me crazy, especially for other people who are coming from somewhere else here, questioning our validity of who we are here and what we did here. And the way, and we paved the way for everybody else to come here with our ancestors and our mothers and parents, blood, sweat, and tears. Okay. So that's unfortunate, but it's true. Some people don't know who we are because we don't know who we are. And you can't even have a good debate if you don't know who you are. What is the answer to that question? You know, one guy said Black Americans don't even have culture. We are the culture. We are the culture. Every genre of music. When I tell you what I found in these books, okay? When I say rock and roll, when I say jazz, when I say gospel, I'm telling you the greatness that's in the blood is unbelievable. So, once again, get the books, tell a friend, like my page. You're going to see more of me. I am about to take you on a journey that you have never been on before. So, stay tuned. I am Aloja Hatley. I am the CEO and founder of Inspired Publishing LLC with support of alojahatley.com. If you have any questions for me, contact us. Okay. Peace and love.